Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 4. We're almost halfway through the course, and I'll bet you're celebrating because of that. I'd like to go over the content and the resources for week 4 here briefly and answer some questions up front that I have received in emails the last couple of days. And that'll be it. We'll move on. Okay, so first off, I want to share with you the assignment for this week. So I'm going to move to my share screen. By the way, I get an awful lot of contacts each week about the fact that you can't get in to the folder or the Hangout. And I want to remind you that I send everything out to you linked to your Concordia Eagles account. So if you try to access anything and you are in your Google account for your school district or your school or your husband's Google account or your child's Google account, you are going to get an error message saying that the document or the Hangout hasn't been shared with you. So what you need to do is go up to the right-hand corner where your profile picture is and look to see, right? In this case, this says that I am currently in my CUI EDU account, so my Concordia account. If I was not in that account, then I would have to select one of, I have 4 others. There's only 2 others showing up here. But if I wanted to add an account to pop up like these do so I can select from them, and one of them would be my Concordia account, then you click on this button right here that says Add Account. And you simply fill in the information. Mainly it's your email. And then whenever you click on your icon here, if you get a message saying you don't have access to the Hangout or you don't have access to the folder, you just click here, go to the appropriate folder, which would be your, or account, which would be your Eagles CUI EDU account. Click on that. Sign in with your password, and then you'll suddenly have access to that link that you have been struggling to join a folder or a Hangout with earlier, okay? So you can also sign out here and just sign in with your Eagles account. But I just add my accounts, and then if I get an error message, I just pop right up here to my picture and say, oh, you know, the reason I can't get in, here's my other work account, Alameda County Office of Ed. If it's an Alameda County Office of Ed folder that's been shared with me, I need to click here. But if it's a Concordia folder or Concordia Hangout, I need to click here. I need to be sure I'm in the right account, or else, like many of you have told me, you're going to get an error message. And I can tell you, I know that you're not using your Concordia account when you send me those emails and say you can't get in, because it tells me who's trying to get in so that I can approve it. So I'll see that it's johnsmith@gmail.com, or I'll see that it's bettylou@gmail.com that's requesting to join. And I usually give you access, but I also put in the message part, make sure you're trying to sign in with your Concordia account. Then you don't have to go through the extra step of asking me to grant you access to the Hangout or the shared folder, okay? So just make sure you're in your Concordia account, because that's how I link it for you every week, for the Hangout and for the shared resources. And this, by the way, is the Hangout folder for week 4. Just like the past weeks, I've put in the assignment, I've put in a copy of the rubric, which I've annotated, and I changed slightly, I think, so that it's more understandable and more user-friendly than what's posted on Blackboard. So you should always check the one that I have load it into the weekly folder first before you see something on Blackboard and say it doesn't make any sense. Check what I've put here in the week 4 or the week 5 or the week 6 folder so that you can see what additional notes and directions I've given you, okay? So we're going to start right out with the copy of the assignment today. By the way, I also always put a copy of the email that I send you on Sunday. The email is always here. In case you can't find it, it gets buried in your email stream. I always put a copy of it here, and I make sure that the links work. So if you lose the email I send you on Sunday night, make sure that you go back to this folder and pull up the copy for the week that I've put in the folder. So here is the assignment for this week. And those of you that were on the Hangout for last week, week 3, I previewed the blog assignment and gave you a little bit of guidance on how to attack the assignment last Thursday night. So you are going to be investigating different education blogs and building an RSS feed for yourself. And then you're going to make a comment, at least one substantive comment on an education blog as your assignment this week. So the original assignment says you need to create your RSS feed through Feedly, and Feedly is a really good tool. I use Digo. There is a app called RSS Feed Reader in the Chrome web store that is good as well. If you already have a RSS feed reader set up, what I'm trying to do is not make you have to go and set another one up with Feedly. You can use the RSS feed reader that you already have set up. If you don't have one set up, then these are a couple, 3 or 4 that are easy to navigate. They're all pretty easy to navigate. And you can pretty quickly get started making the connections between the websites and blogs that you think would be interesting to monitor or follow, and upload a screenshot for me to see later on, okay? So there are directions on the assignment for how to get started with Feedly. Digo is very similar, and so is Chrome's RSS feed reader. They all work basically the same way. You see a plus on the screen after you sign up for the account, and associate it with an email address. And in this case, we'd like you to use, again, your Eagles email address. You can then start adding your feeds and websites, okay? Anywhere you see the RSS feed icon, you can click on it and add that site or blog to your feeder. As soon as you start playing around in it, you're going to see it's very, very simple. In fact, you'll end up probably putting more than 10 things in. If you're like me, you're going to have dozens. I have my feed reader linked to I think it's called Flipbook. I don't know if it's Flipbook or Flipboard. I just open it every day, and I read. It's an app that allows you to read your RSS feeds like a magazine, like an online magazine. So while I'm talking to you here, I'm trying to open it up on my tablet so that I can tell you exactly what it's called. I think it's Flipboard. But anyway, you can tie your RSS feed reader to something like Flipboard, and then you all your feeds are sent to your your electronic magazine. They're all organized for you. So I have a tab in my Flipboard that says education, and all of my RSS feeds automatically, whenever there's an update to any of the websites or the blogs that I am following, they automatically go through my feeder, which is DGO, to my Flipboard and into the education portion of my personal electronic magazine. So you should check it out. I'm not saying you have to start your own magazine now. I know there are plenty more than Flipboard, but you can organize it all so that it's like reading a daily newspaper, right? Okay, so back to the assignment. Flipboard, I just looked at my tablet, it is Flipboard. So you can link your RSS feed to something like Flipboard. So you're going to add at least 10 blogs to your Feedly or your DGO or your Chrome RSS feed reader. And once you do that, you'll take a screenshot showing the 10 resources, and you will copy and paste it onto either a Word doc or a Google Doc as the first part of your assignment for week 4. Okay, so the next thing you do for week 4 is similar to a discussion board with your classmates, but instead it's with the whole world. This time you'll choose one of those blogs to make a comment on, and that will again have to be something substantive, because in this case it's taking the place of your discussion board posting for the week. There is no discussion topic on Collaborate Classroom this week. There is a tab for you to upload your link to the website of the blog that you post a substantive comment on, but you do not have to answer a discussion question this week. So as this says, it's time for you to be the watering can, to share your own thoughts with the world. You'll get inspired by others, and now you get to inspire others with your comments. So pick a blog, one of the 10, or any, well, it should probably be one of the 10 that you've posted in your feeder, and make a substantive comment. Then what you're going to do is copy and paste the link to that blog on the same document that you copied and pasted the screenshot of your RSS feed reader. And then you're also going to copy and paste a screenshot of the comment that you made as it is posted and displayed on the blog which you commented upon, okay? So that means you're going to have 3 things that you're going to put on one Word or Google document, which you will upload to Blackboard on Sunday as your assignment, okay? So keep in mind, one Word or Google document, 3 things on it. The screenshot from your RSS feed reader that shows you have at least 10 education blogs that you're following. You're going to have the link to the blog on which you made a post. And 3, you're going to copy and paste a screenshot of your actual post. Now, something for you to keep in mind with education blogs, and I mentioned this last Thursday, sometimes the owners and authors of the blogs will require you to sign in to have an account to make a comment. So just be aware of that. Also, not all bloggers check their comments every day. Sometimes they check them every couple of days, every week, every month. Some not at all. So you might want to check and see when the last time the owner responded to a blog post was, so you can get an idea of how long you might have to wait to get your comment approved. Because most blogs don't allow your posts to automatically appear. Most blog owners want to preview the posts before they okay them to be displayed on the blog. And it could take a couple of days, it could take a couple of weeks. And you need to copy and paste your actual blog post as it appears on the blog on that document that you're uploading to Blackboard for me. So you need to make sure that you're getting your blog post on there before Sunday night next week, because it may not get approved and you may not be able to post it for me on your Google or Word doc if you wait too long, okay? So let's see, let's go on to the rubric for the next week. And let's see, here we go. So here's the rubric. So this just goes over again the 3 pieces that you're going to copy and paste onto your single Word or Google document that you'll upload to Blackboard, right? And one other thing, remember I mentioned you have to put the link to the blog you commented upon onto Collaborate Classroom this week. There is a tab set up for you to do that. So make sure that you also put the link to your blog that you commented on Collaborate Classroom, as well as putting it onto the Word or Google document. Why are we doing that? So that your peers, your classmates can see some of the great blogs that are out there that they may not be aware of, okay? And you may have a great blog that you follow that's for foreign language teachers. Another of you might have a great one for elementary math teachers. Another might have a great blog for classroom management. So we just want to make sure that everybody shares the really helpful blogs that are out there, education blogs that are out there with their colleagues. So there's only 2 portions on this week's rubric. That you've done a substantive post. It says you have a well-written, substantive, contributing post on a topic on a blog. And then the other part is whether or not you're Feedly or Diigo. It says Feedly here, but remember I've said you can use Diigo, you can use Chrome's RSS feed reader. There are lots of different ones. Yahoo has a feed reader, you know, whichever one you use, okay, that you've uploaded a screenshot that shows that you are following at least 10 education blogs, okay? This looks like a pretty easy 20 points to me. I hope you think it's a less stressful, easier assignment, one that you can really enjoy this week, okay? So I'm going to go now to the file that I've been developing this week called Additional Resources and Information for Week 4. So if you do not know whether or not the blog or website you're looking at has an RSS feed, this is the icon that you want to look for. It's usually pretty tiny, but if you see this, then you can usually click on it and find your feeder. If you can't find your feeder listed when you click on it, then you can cut and paste the address of the site into Feedly or Diigo, wherever it is you are, okay, that you're building your reader. So here are the website links to the ones that I've been talking about, Feedly, Digo, and if you go to the Chrome store and if you are opening your computer in Chrome, you'll hear me all the time talk about the waffles. There's the Chrome waffle and there's the Google app waffle. The Google app waffle is usually over here. That's where if you click on it, you find Hangouts, Google Plus, Google Drive, Google Docs. You usually find it on the right-hand side of your screen. The Chrome apps waffle is way over here on the left. And when you click on it, one of your options is to go to the Chrome store. And when you go into the Chrome store, you can find lots of applications and extensions, including this RSS feed reader. Okay, so I tried the Tim Bedley blog link that's on Blackboard. I couldn't get it to work for me. It's one of the 10 resources that are posted this week for you on the resource section of week 4. So hopefully you can get through it. I could not get to it, but I've given you a couple of extras in case you can't. Okay. Many of the educational websites and wikis that you are already interested in, that you visit frequently, they have their own blog pages. So, you know, you can use those as part of your 10 on your Feedly, Digo, or other feed reader account. If you get to a website that, an education website or wiki that you really like and you are on regularly and you see that they have a blog, then go ahead and add it. You know, that's great. Put it in your feeder. Okay. Additionally, don't forget that I mentioned my friend and 6th grade science teacher, author, national board certified teacher, Bill Ferreter. I mentioned his blog, The Tempered Radical, last week. And I talked to Bill Saturday. I talked to Bill yesterday and told him that he may see a flurry of comments this week. And he said that's good to know because he doesn't check his blog every day and make comments and responses and okay posts, but because he knows you might be on his blog this week, he will check it every night. So on his blog this week, he has a very interesting post on using Screencastify, the app Screencastify, in his classroom. You should check it out. It's a screencasting tool, and he uses it for differentiated instruction in his classroom. Great post. Not terribly controversial this week, but if you dig back a couple, you'll find some pretty controversial, provocative postings. You know, he likes to get educators to think. Another friend of mine who does Google Apps for Education trainings for me in my other work is John Stevens. And he maintains the blog on Fishing for Tech. Matt Vaudry is his partner. And Matt also does Google Apps for Education trainings for me. And for me, I mean in my other job, we hire him to do that. And he operates a blog called mrvaudry.com. Okay, so there's a couple of others that you might want to check out. So if you have questions about Feedly or Digo or the Chrome RSS feeder and how they work, if you have questions on blogs and how to post, anything like that, you know, it's helpful if you send me those questions before Thursday's Hangout so that I can find the answers or get you some support resources before the start of the Hangout. I will continue to add to this particular document all week. If things come up, questions come up, somebody sends me an email with content that I think you should see, I will put it on this document and just keep adding to it all week long. All right? So this last part here is just what I went over with you earlier about making sure before you send me an email saying you can't get into a folder or you can't get on the Hangout, make sure you're trying to access it using your Concordia Google Apps account. Okay? All right, let's see. I had a comment this week about not knowing that you couldn't use PowerPoint. So it's been in the content, in the directions of several of the assignments so far that you can't use PowerPoint as a primary tool. However, if you use PowerPoint to develop the slide deck that you upload into a tool such as Adobe Captivate or Adobe Voice or MoveNote, or onto BlendSpace, onto Padlet, if it's not the primary resource, if it's the secondary resource for some other application or digital tool you're featuring, that's okay with me. But what the course leads do not want is for PowerPoint to be your primary digital tool of use for any assignment. PowerPoint has been changing over the years, and it's a much more robust tool than it was even a year ago. You can actually add music, set timers, turn it into an automatic slideshow, much the way you can with Adobe Voice and Captivate and MoveNote and Prezi and other presentation tools. It's just that it's been around for so long that the course leads would prefer it's not the primary tool you use. Okay, so if you have any more questions about that, let me know. I think that that's it for this week. If you have any other things that need clarification, anything comes up, let me know. I'm going to switch back over so that I can say goodbye to you personally. Okay, if you have any more questions, let me know. I hope you have a great week 4, and I look forward to talking to you on Thursday. All right, bye-bye for now.